on the open road in the most unreliable vehicle that I own. The fear, ladies and gentlemen, that fear is real. Unless you're this man over here, in which case you're unbothered, everything's fine. Fine! When it breaks down, then you're going to understand why I feel this way about it. It's, honestly guys, it's glorious to have the truck out and be on the road again doing something with it. Although every single noise that it makes, I'm terrified by it. Absolutely, 100% terrified. It is terrifying. There is no other word for this. Apart from the fact it's so nice, I don't think I've ever driven Jupiter along this road. This is my normal way home from the shed. So, to be driving this route in the fire engine, pretty good actually, it's genuinely pretty good. How are you feeling? Are you feeling happy, confident?
Yeah, I'm feeling happy and confident, as I always do.
It's a lovely way to be, isn't it? Your blissful ignorance of all the issues this thing has. I've just had a terrifying thought. I've got to drive this in town. I haven't driven this in town for I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know how long it's been since she went into town.
it's not going to break down. We think negative, it's going to be negative.
She's wonderful, she's wonderful, she's wonderful, she's wonderful.
Exactly.
She's
Think
wonderful.
positive should work beautifully. That's why I do my vehicles anyway, and they still work.
I think the thought of it, I wouldn't dare do this on my own, but having somebody else with me makes it all just a lot better. Like, even if it does go terribly wrong, at least there's somebody there to enjoy it with you and just kind of go, we can.
Yeah, but how, if it do go wrong, how are we getting at home?
Walking.
We're walking.
Our landlord. Yeah. Hello! It's us, the idiots.
Or ask a friendly farmer. Can you show us, please?
I don't know any friendly farmers around here.
Well, there's got to be some. All these fields are halved and the hedge cut going on.
Oh yeah. We should have chosen another gear for that. Definitely should have chosen another gear.
Fine.
I think it's going to be one of these things that if we get back from a successful trip, I'm going to love this, not currently enjoying it.
They will make it back as long as you don't floor them.
We are currently looking at 45, and in Jupiter that is 5th year, and we've entered a town. It's the first time Jupiter's done a town for our time.
So this is the main feature of today of taking Jupiter out, for this is the red goddess, my red goddess, meeting a green goddess, which admittedly is a much, much older machine. That one is built somewhere around 1955, and yes, this is only a whistle-stop video. We will be reviewing that at some time in the not too distant future, which is awesome, so that's something to look forward to. This is more just a look at two different examples of fire engines in preservation. My one, which is currently working, and this absolutely beautiful example. Now, I am very jealous, and those of you who have talked to me in the Discord and in real life will know that I almost had one of these. For instance, when I was at the Mid-Suffolk Light Railway, there was a gentleman who had one of these, and I'd taken it out a couple of times and gone for rides in it. And he knew that I was in the market for a fire engine. And not 2 weeks after I'd bought Jupiter, he announced that he was selling his because he'd had a fall from it and offered it to me, to which I went, that would be lovely. But I mean, this is before we had the shed. So she was still living out on an airbase out at Bentwaters. So I had nowhere to put it, nor did I have the money to buy a second fire engine. Certainly not the money that one of these goes for. And I think for people who don't know fire engines, the Green Goddess is one of the most recognisable and well-known of the vintage fire engine thing. Most people will still go past and be like, it's a Green Goddess. Coincidentally, they weren't called Green Goddesses during their service life, and I have no idea where this name has come from. I know that there are sometimes red ones and sometimes yellow ones, and people call those yellow or whatever goddesses. I don't know if that's real or proper, or I have no idea. Whether that's kind of beside the point slightly. This is, though, very nice. It's the first time as well that Jupiter has actually gone out somewhere to meet another appliance. So what we're going to do now is just have a little walk around and just have a look at what changed in the, well, 20 or 30 years, well, 30 years from that one being brand new to my one being brand new. Cool. The biggest difference between the two of these, and this one's a little bit subtle, so bear with me. This one is green and this one is red. Now, this is obviously because this is the livery of the Auxiliary Fire Service, but if you don't know, they are a group that was brought together by the government to be able to fight fires in the case of the Cold War being, bad stuff happening. And apparently, they had enough equipment to be able to, if say London was bombed and became irradiated, to be able to pump water all the way down, say, the A1 in chains, because they're basically pumps. They're not like mine is, that's a water tender that carries water. They're designed to be pumps, and they're designed to be coupled together and then be able to transport water via mobile pumps from one end of the country to the other. And it's said, and I don't know if this is true, but the AFS as a whole had enough pipes of various different materials to be able to pump water from John O'Groats to Land's End, which is magnificently wonderful. So the other big thing is, clearly, this is a off-road four-wheel drive machine. Mine is not. And though I haven't tried taking Jupiter off-road in the wet, I did get my Dodge stuck after it turned up in the video that you might have seen of bringing the Dodge home. I parked it on the grass because the shed wasn't actually ready for it, and it wouldn't move off till the following spring because it just got stuck. And I rather suspect Jupiter might do the same. I mean, the Dodge is auto, which doesn't help, and Jupiter's is manual. But this is very much an off-road machine. I mean, look at this, the ground clearance here. I mean, it's kind of above my knee height. It's mega, and it's so very imposing with this whole higher body and higher raised height. And for the first time ever, Jupiter kind of looks slammed. I've never really looked at Jupiter and gone, cool, that's low to the ground. But in comparison, Jupiter is a low machine. Now, other thing, you might be thinking, oh, Jupiter has advantage because you can put crew in the back. Not quite. This is the back. And yes, this is the only door. So in order to get into the driving position, you have to board like this. And then somehow throw yourself over the gearbox and the transmission tunnel into a seat. This is basically referred to as being a slightly less good design. It's not ideal. Now, allow me to demonstrate how this has moved on. Oh look, there's the driving position. Oh look, there's the crew compartment. How very clever. Having two doors, especially if you arrive at a fire, means everyone's got to pile out the same things, out the same doors, which is less than ideal. So that's definitely a move forward. Things I do like though are we have hose here stored up, but a wheel there, whereas mine are in my rear lockers all the way over here. Same thing, different place, right at the back. So I've got one each side, just like the Goddess. Although mine are kept in a locker. And then we start looking at all these lockers here, which are smaller, certainly, but there are more of them. So your kit can be better organised by having separate lockers all the way along. Now, the other big advantage is this one's all locked. And that's cool because you can put locks around so you can't open them. My one, on the other hand, my lockers are much bigger on these roller shutters, which is also an advantage because having swing doors over there on the Green Goddess, I don't know if you noticed, these ones hinge out. So if you open this one, jump out the cab, you can go doof into this one. These ones hinge up. So if you knock the strap, it will come down and knock you on the back of your head. Jupiter, on the other hand, sliding shutters, no problems. And all my hoses are here. That's where my hoses are. But as you saw with the two clips here and here, there is no way to lock this. All my lockers, if I leave Jupiter at home, which has happened a couple of times outside my house, which is absolutely glorious, by the way, I have to kind of keep a watch on it, which means I don't really get any sleep because anybody can get in there. The last couple of times it's been at home, I've had to transport everything from my lockers inside the house just to make sure that nothing bad happens. You know, who would rub a fire engine, but that's the world we live in today. And then of course, the sheer size of it. If we look here and look at the size of the ladder on the roof, Jupiter originally, when I bought it, had a Green Goddess ladder. And that's got to be replaced with whatever I have on there. But just in proportions, that looks like a longer ladder. I think Jupiter's longer as a truck in whole, but the other big thing is this one is fully kitted out, whereas mine is not. Because fire engine equipment is expensive and I've bought other tat. But that's what it is. And of course, the one big thing that I am quite jealous of that I do not have is on the top of there is a bell, which apparently should be green, but that's it. With the Green Goddess suitably enthused over, it was time to return to the shed. If you've enjoyed this video and you want more LMM, the links to our social media is coming up on the screen now. And of course, if you want to help the channel, give us a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and leave a comment to let us know if you want to see the Green Goddess turning up on the channel. And with that, how about clicking over here for the video of Jupiter's triumphant return, or over here for the video where it broke down on the way to a wedding. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.